Hey, it's louisity again, and for this video, I'm gonna be doing the Filipino Cuisine Book Tag. Hoorah! So this version is gonna be a little bit different because it's going to be Aklatubers edition. So I asked some of my fellow Aklatubers to contribute some prompts for this book tag, so I asked some different Filipino food and what prompt it is going to be. So, let's find out what they are. So the first prompt is from Bookstoreus. He provided dirty ice cream, or I'd rather call salty ice cream. Folks, it's not dirty, it's safe to eat. And the prompt that he provided would be a book that surprised you, of course, and that made a lot of impact to you. And the one that I've thought of, I actually thought of two for this one. So the first would have to be All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. I thought that this was going to be some sort of a cute contemporary with, I know that there are possible deep elements based on the things that I've heard about how it dealt with mental health. But I didn't know that it would hit me hard and that it would make me contemplate on certain things, about labels and stuff. And it was definitely the epitome of a hard-hitting contemporary. And the next one, it was more of a reread because I knew that when I was going to read the Percy Jackson, the Olympian series, that I was going to enjoy it. And it's one of my favorite book series, one of the all-time greats out there. But I did expect that the second time I reread Last Olympian, it's going to hit me hard in a manner wherein it made me contemplate about things, especially that conversation between Hermes and Percy. I think I mentioned this in my rereading vlog about people's choices, people's destinies, and even if there's already an end route, we're still it made me contemplate about life, wherein if you believe in destiny and fate, and still at the same time you're still given the authority on the decisions that you're going to make. There are still circumstances that you're going to have to go through, and it's kind of it just made me contemplate about that. If you've read the series, and if you've read this book, you would know that Percy was not declared as the hero of the series. So a little warning there. And yeah, I would say that you gotta read this. I hope you get to reach this point if you haven't started with the Percy Jackson, the Olympian series. But that was the one that hit me so hard and it shocked me. Basically the series overall, when I reread it, it shocked me in a way that there are a lot of things that you can contemplate from. The next is from Gerald The Bookworm. He contributed Kare, which the prompt is favorite duo or one true pair. And I'm gonna have to go with, guess who? No, it's not Rachel and Nick. I'm gonna have to go with Astrid and Charlie from, of course, the Crazy Rich Asians series. Now, I just loved Astrid's journey and finding her true love, and also I just want to know more about what's going to happen next between Astrid and Charlie with their new life. I just find them very supportive of each other, and I'm just amazed about their relationship, and I just wish that they will have another series and we get to see what happens next. And it's up to Kevin Kwan and how he's going to deal with it. I'm just very proud of this couple. The next is from Aira Wndrlst. She contributed two prompts. Now the first one would have to be Pansit, and the prompt is the longest or thickest book that you've read. And based on my Goodreads account, the longest one would have to be Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. It is about 900 plus pages. And the other one that she contributed would be Olympian Shanghai. And the prompt is a book that most readers will enjoy. Now, this was quite difficult for me because knowing my reading tastes, I tend to not enjoy books that are liked by a lot of people. But what I've noticed throughout my booktube journey and my booktube experience is that I believe that most folks appreciate this book, and that would be They Hate to Give by Angie Thomas. Now, of course, this book tackles about police brutality, racism, and like I've said in my review, one of the topics that I liked that was talked about here, and it was kind of like talk between that scene where Star and her father had some sort of a casual discussion, would have to be their discussion about opportunities on what leads one to do another. Say somebody who just got out of prison and then tries to start a new life, but because that person is deprived of opportunities because of stigma associated with it, they get to the point wherein there's no choice but to kind of go back to the old ways. And that is something that especially our leaders can contemplate on how new opportunities can be given, and how they can still continue with life and basically prevent from going back to the old ways that can cause harm. So I like the fact that they talk about opportunities in this one, and it's not only, I believe, that it affects the United States but also other countries and nations and territories around the globe. And the last one is from Ishi, from A Cup of Maui. Now, the prompt that she contributed would be Balut, a book that has a not so attractive cover but has a great story. And I'm going to have to go with Kaleidoscope by Danielle Steel. Now, I'm not a fan of this plain cover. I mean, I like plain things, but there's something about it to me, like the color combinations are not the best. But despite that, I really love the journey that how these sisters were able to find each other again. And that's the thing about Danielle Steel. She knows how to write great family stories. I think those are the stories that I enjoyed more or had more impact for me. But I also like her romance stories as well. And the thing is, by the way, this has some trigger warnings. Hillary went through some, I think, juvenile sexual harm. So yeah, just be warned about. And honestly, despite that, I just love how how you can't understand one's decisions or like why certain people become the way that they are, probably because of the things they've been through. So that's another thing that is really lovely about this book. I highly recommend Kaleidoscope by Danielle Steel. So thank you super much to BooksAreUs, Gerald The Bookworm, Aira Wndrlst, and A Cup of Maui for contributing. So you folks are automatically tagged, and if you want to do this tag, well then, bam, consider yourself tagged then. So I hope you folks enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also putting down the links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Let us keep in our minds and our hearts to be loving and kind, and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.